Greetings, everyone. Today we're exploring a decision that has a profound impact on our health, yet it's often guided more by marketing than by science: choosing a mattress. For many, it's just a piece of furniture, but for anyone who has ever experienced back pain, it's much more than that. The sleep surface can become a nightly therapeutic device.
Correct? And greetings, everyone. And that's exactly right. And to evaluate it properly, we have to move past vague terms like comfort and establish a clear scientific framework based on biomechanics. The goal is to define what an optimal sleep surface actually is, based on how it affects our spine during sleep.
So, let's start there. What is happening when we sleep? And what should the mattress be doing for our spine?
Well, sleep isn't a passive state, it's an active, critical period of restoration. During the day, gravity puts constant compressive force on our spine. Sleep is the only prolonged opportunity for our muscles, ligaments, and especially our intervertebral discs to decompress, rehydrate, and repair. But for that to happen effectively, the spine must be held in its natural, neutral alignment.
And that neutral alignment isn't a straight line, is it?
Not at all. And you're right, most people think that. The human spine has a natural S shape. The primary job of a therapeutic mattress is to preserve those curves. If a mattress fails to do this, your muscles are forced to stay tense all night to try and stabilize the spine, which prevents them from entering that relaxed, restorative state. This leads directly to morning stiffness and pain. It creates a negative feedback loop. An unsupportive mattress causes tense muscles, which prevents deep sleep, which increases your perception of pain, leading to more tossing and turning. An effective mattress breaks that cycle.
Okay, so what are the most common ways a mattress can fail?
There are two primary modes of failure, being too firm or too soft. A surface that's excessively firm doesn't yield to your body's shape. It creates high pressure zones at the shoulders and hips, and worse, it leaves the lumbar region unsupported, forcing the spine into an unnaturally flat position. One clinical study found that a hard mattress caused the lower back's natural curve to collapse by an average of 10.6 millimeters.
And too soft?
Equally damaging, a mattress that's too soft creates what we call a hammock effect. The heaviest parts of your body, the hips and torso, sink in too deeply, which flexes the spine out of alignment and puts significant strain on the lower back muscles. One simulation even showed that when the torso sinks too deep, it can increase the peak loading on the cervical discs in your neck by as much as 49%.
You've used the word support, but many people think that just means firm. Can you clarify the difference?
Okay, that's a critical point of confusion for consumers. A truly therapeutic mattress has to perform two very distinct jobs at the same time: pressure point relief and lumbar support. Pressure relief is the mattress's ability to cushion and conform to your body's protruding curves, like your shoulders and hips. This distributes your weight evenly and prevents those pressure points that make you toss and turn. Lumbar support, on the other hand, is the ability to provide a firm, uplifting force to the body's recessed curves, most importantly the lower back. This uplift prevents that natural inward curve from collapsing.
And I imagine it's difficult to find a material that does both of those things well.
You just hit the nail on the head. That is exactly the fundamental challenge in mattress design. Materials that are great at pressure relief, like soft foams, often lack the resilience to provide that necessary uplift for the lower back. Conversely, materials with rigid support, like traditional inner springs, often fail to cushion the shoulders and hips. There was a compelling study where researchers placed an inflatable support within a mattress. When it was deflated, pressure maps showed weight was concentrated in the pelvic region. But when they inflated it to support the lumbar area, that pelvic pressure was significantly reduced and redistributed, creating a more even distribution of force. It proved that an optimal mattress must not only yield to your body's protrusions, but actively support its recesses.
Does the perfect mattress change depending on the person? Say, based on how they sleep or their body type?
Absolutely. The ideal mattress is not universal. It's relative to the user's specific needs. For sleeping position, side sleepers are the most common, and they have the biggest difference between the width of their shoulders and hips versus their waist. They need a surface with significant give to let those joints sink in and keep the spine straight. Back sleepers can do well with a medium firm feel, as long as it fills in and supports that lumbar curve. And stomach sleeping is generally discouraged by medical professionals because it flattens the lumbar curve and forces the neck into rotation. But for those who can't break the habit, an exceptionally firm mattress is required to prevent the hips from sinking and causing what we call hyperextension.
And what about body weight? Does that matter?
Body weight is just as crucial. Lighter individuals under 130 pounds, or roughly, let's say, 60 kilos, exert less pressure, and can often use a slightly softer mattress to get enough pressure relief. Heavier individuals, over 230 pounds or I believe 100 kilos, needs a firmer and more durable mattress to prevent them from bottoming out on the support core. Average weight individuals between 130 to 230 pounds, again 60 to 100 kilos, are the target for that general medium firm recommendation you often see in research. Does this make sense?
Yes, it really does. So, that medium firm advice is an oversimplification then?
Absolutely, it most certainly is, because the mechanism of support is far more critical than a simple firmness rating. A medium firm inner spring mattress provides support through a rigid coil network that doesn't conform well. A medium firm memory foam mattress relies on a firm base layer, as the top layer itself offers no active uplift. But a medium firm latex mattress provides support through a buoyant, elastic uplift that conforms and supports at the same time. The focus has to be on how the material behaves under load, not just a number on a scale.
So, if you were to create a checklist, what are the key performance metrics we should be judging a mattress on?
The metrics? Well, let's see. Based on all those biomechanical principles, there are 5 key metrics. First, let's look at dynamic support and point elasticity, the ability to conform to your shape on a micro level while providing uplifting counterpressure. This is what solves that support versus cushioning paradox. Second, responsiveness and ease of movement is important too, meaning how quickly the mattress adapts when you move. For someone with back pain, being able to change positions effortlessly is a therapeutic necessity, not just a preference. A non-responsive mattress can trap you, inhibiting restorative micromovements. Third, durability and support longevity is critical. In other words, this is the mattress's ability to resist sagging and forming indentations. A mattress is a long-term health investment. One that sags stops being a solution and becomes the cause of back pain. Fourth, a big one here, what we call thermal neutrality, meaning the capacity to dissipate body heat. Overheating is a known disruptor of the deep restorative stages of sleep needed for muscle repair. And fifth, really important, health and allergenics. This covers both the use of hypoallergenic materials that resist dust mites and mold, and the absence of harmful chemicals or the off-gassing of VOCs or volatile organic compounds.
Okay, that's very interesting. Let's see. With all of that framework in place, let's tease out, or shall I say, analyze the core mattress technologies. Let's start with the most traditional, inner spring.
Right, the inner spring system is a network of steel coils. By the way, I'm not a huge fan of this type of system. To answer your question, however, the performance varies dramatically based on construction. The original design is the Bonnell coil, which are hourglass-shaped and wired together, so they move as a single unit. They are cheap to make but offer poor body contouring and transfer a lot of motion. The major advancement is the pocketed coil, where each coil is in its own fabric pocket. This allows them to compress independently, offering vastly superior body-conforming ability and motion isolation.
And things like coil gauge and count matter too.
They most certainly do. You see, gauge is wire thickness. A lower number means a thicker, firmer wire. Count is the total number of coils. But in terms of performance, inner springs are highly responsive, which makes movement easy, and their open structure provides excellent airflow, making them the coolest sleeping option. Their main drawbacks, and there are many drawbacks here, are that even pocketed coils can create pressure points, and the open system can become a reservoir for allergens, like dust mites. It's important to note here that most modern mattresses are actually hybrids, combining a pocketed coil core with comfort layers of foam or latex to get the support of coils with the pressure relief of foam. This is a very inexpensive way to manufacture mattresses. As you can guess, I'm not a huge fan of this.
I'm getting that from you. This is good information, by the way. Okay, let's move to the material that really changed the industry, memory foam.
Memory foam, or viscoelastic foam, was first developed by NASA. It's defined by its deep, slow response contouring. It's temperature sensitive, and so basically it softens with your body heat to slowly mold to your exact shape. Its greatest strength is this unparalleled ability to reduce pressure points. But here's the paradox. That deep contouring is also its greatest weakness. Memory foam has very low resilience. It absorbs energy rather than returning it. By the way, it's essentially cheap plastic. Oh, and resilience means it provides no inherent uplift or supportive force. A sleeper's hips can sink too far, creating that hammock effect and causing spinal misalignment.
And that's where you get that stuck feeling people complain about.
Exactly. That slow recovery time results in poor ease of movement. which I believe is a terrible disadvantage for people, especially people with back pain. Heat retention is its most notorious drawback. Its dense structure traps heat and can disrupt deep sleep. And as a synthetic petroleum-based product, it can release an initial chemical odor from VOCs known as off-gassing. In terms of durability, its lifespan is typically only 6 to 7 years, as it's prone to forming permanent body impressions that compromise support. When used in a hybrid mattress, that foam comfort layer is almost always the weakest link. It will degrade and sag long before the steel coils wear out. But I found that coils deform quickly as well.
So, that brings us to the third material. What about natural latex?
Natural latex holds a unique position because it directly addresses the shortcomings of both inner springs and memory foam. It's a sustainable product derived from the sap of the rubber tree. It's processed into foam using one of two methods. The Dunlop process creates a denser, more supportive foam, excellent for support cores. The Talalay process is more complex. It uses a vacuum and flash freezing to create a softer, more consistent and luxurious foam, perfect for comfort layers.
Okay, and so how does it perform against those 5 metrics?
This is where it excels. For support and contouring, latex has a unique combination of high point elasticity and high resilience. This means it can simply contour to relieve pressure points just like memory foam, but unlike memory foam, its natural elasticity provides an immediate buoyant pushback or uplift. This point is critical for back pain sufferers, and so this dynamic response prevents the hammock effect and actively supports the spine. It also solves the support pressure relief paradox. For durability, it's the best available, bar none, with a lifespan of 15 to 25 years, and it's exceptionally resistant to sagging. It's also highly responsive, so it's easy to move on, and its natural open cell structure makes it breathable and cool to sleep on. And finally, it's naturally hypoallergenic, antimicrobial, and doesn't off-gas harmful VOCs.
So after that comparison, you're clearly making the case that natural latex is the superior choice for managing back pain.
When you synthesize all of the findings, it becomes the definitive therapeutic investment. It resolves that biomechanical paradox with its dynamic support, conforming and supporting in a single motion. Its durability isn't just a value feature, it's a clinical necessity. Back pain is often chronic, so you need consistent support for many years. As a lesser mattress sags, it stops being a solution and becomes pathogenic, meaning it actively causes the pain it was meant to solve. The durability of latex ensures the support you get in year 1 is the same support you get in year 10, perhaps even 20 years.
And this technology can be made even more advanced.
Absolutely. The apex of ergonomic design is the zoned latex mattress. You see, this type of design recognizes that the human body isn't uniformly weighted and shouldn't be supported by a uniform surface. Zoned mattresses are engineered with different firmness levels in different areas. Typically, you'll have a firmer central zone under the hips and lumbar region to prevent sinking, and softer zones under the shoulders and legs to allow for pressure relief. This design is proactive, not reactive. It actively guides your body into a more optimal alignment. It's the single most important design feature for someone with significant back pain to look for.
So, for someone who is now convinced and is ready to shop, what practical advice can you offer? In other words, how do they navigate the market?
Firstly, learn to decode all of the noise, like misleading jargon marketing claims. Understand that a layered design with a firm Dunlop core and a softer Talalay comfort layer is a highly effective configuration. Second, try to look for the objective measure of firmness, which is ILD, or indentation load deflection. Generally, an ILD of 14 to 22 is soft, 23 to 30 is medium, and 31-38 is firm. Third, verify third-party certifications. Look for GOLS for organic latex, GOTS for organic textiles like cotton and wool, and OEKO-TEX for product safety. And critically, ensure the certification is in the manufacturer's name, not their suppliers, to guarantee end-to-end integrity.
You mentioned hybrids earlier. Is a latex hybrid a good option?
It's an alternative if you're on a tight budget. A latex hybrid combines latex comfort layers over a pocketed coil support core. You get the buoyant, durable, hypoallergenic feel of latex with some support, breathability, and strong edge support of coils. But I have to say my opinion here that I found that coils don't hold up too well and tend to dip fast, which is a literal nightmare if you're a back pain sufferer. But they occasionally can be particularly well suited for heavier individuals or those who simply prefer the feel of an inner spring.
Which brings us to cost. Natural latex has a reputation for being expensive.
It depends how much you value great sleep. And yes, it does have a higher upfront cost, but this ignores durability. The true cost of a mattress should be calculated by its cost per year of effective use. For example, euros and dollars are almost the same today, so A $1,000 memory foam mattress that lasts 7 years has an annual cost of about $143. A $2,500 natural latex mattress that lasts 20 years has an annual cost of $125. In that scenario, the mattress that was 2.5 times more expensive is actually more economical over its lifespan.
So to wrap all this up, can you give us a final consumer checklist?
Of course. First, prioritize material. Favor 100% natural latex in your comfort layers. Second, seek zone support. Look for 3-zone or 5-zone systems for enhanced lumbar support. Third, match firmness to your body. Use the guidelines for sleep position and body weight we discussed. Fourth, verify certifications in the manufacturer's name. And fifth, ensure you have a proper foundation, like a solid platform or a slatted base with slats no more than 3 inches apart. Sixth, leverage trial periods. Give your body at least 30 days to adjust to a new surface. And oh yes, finally, invest for the long term. Analyze the cost per year, not just the sticker price.
It's clear that the relationship between sleep and back pain is a profound cycle, and that a well-chosen mattress can be a powerful tool for healing. This has been an incredibly thorough breakdown. Thank you.
You're so welcome.